We good? All cameras good? Yep. Awesome. All right, cool. What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Lemonade Podcast. I am your host, Frank. With the Lemonade Podcast, here we believe we go by the saying, when life gives you lemons, we make lemonade. With that, we also want to encourage, inspire, and empower those tuning in. Not only them, but also our guests. And today's guest is the one and only Amarii Davu.
What's happening?
What's
man?
going on, fam?
What's good, man?
Good? Nah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for being here, bro.
Absolutely, I had to come through,
man. Yes, sir, man. Real quick, and there's not like a set stone rule for this, because my nephew was on one of the episodes, and he actually drank before we ended the episode. During the episode, he drank the lemonade. My thing was at the end we toast with the lemonade.
Oh, cool.
But it isn't like I said, a rule. Like, and that's cool. Fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So
I was getting a little parched.
No, it's fine. So which is good because I'm like, okay, cool. He gives me permission to drink as well. So feel free to drink, cool, but we will toast to you and everything. You know. So yeah, man. So thank you again for being here. It's a pleasure. First off, like I said, you know, we go into it talking about the lemons that life has given you, the lemonade that you're making, that you made. You know what I mean? Yeah. And whichever ones you want to talk about, it's on you. You know what I mean? But when I think of you, I met you not too long ago this year, and it was a dope conversation. The connection was dope. And I said, when I started developing more, when it came to the movement and the lemonade movement and the podcast, I was like, yo, I think he'd be perfect for it just because of this, just a small bit that you gave me about your journey. You know, you're not from California, correct?
You're not. Nashville, Tennessee.
There you go. Man. There it is. Shout out to Nashville. There you go. Everybody out listening. You know what I mean? So like I said, we go into it. We talk about the lemons, the lemon that you make, and also, you know, how it is that you pour it on to the world.
Man, bro. Yeah. I think the fattest lemon that I've had so far is coming to California.
Okay.
I got booked at a show at the House of Blues in San Diego.
Yes, I've been there once.
I had never been to California in my life.
Okay.
I had just got finished being in a mental hospital. I had a break where I just needed to kind of, you know, focus on mental health.
Was that, sorry, and I hope you don't mind me asking, was that you were in it, like you were admitted, or you were working there?
No. I voluntarily put myself in.
Gotcha.
Like this is like probably like 2 weeks before I came to California.
Cool. All right, got it.
But yeah, I got out and I was just like, I have to do the show. I drove 27 hours, came out here, did the show. I was hype as hell, and I was like, you didn't make any plans. So I was in my car for like 7 months.
Okay.
And that experience, man, it was a lot.
Okay. So when you say show, because we didn't really talk about this, what it is that the lemonade that you make, one of many batches, I would say, because you're an artist, period, right?
Yeah.
You know, but how I know you is through your music.
Yeah. You
know, I heard your album. It's dope. I dig, you know, the tracks. It's something different from, I guess, from, I don't want to say what I'm used to, because I'm a hip hop head. Like, I love hip hop. Hip hop was my first love. But I've never heard of anybody coming from where you come from. You never hear that city represented.
Everybody says that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is dope. It's cool. You know, you're just trying to put, you know, your stamp, that, and you stamp on hip hop, however that may be. You know, so you're an MC.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So when you came to Cali to do the show, now you're here. Did you do the show?
I did the show.
You did the show. How was it? Rocked it.
It was beautiful, man. Like, nice sized crowd, like beautiful people, all kind of love, man. Like.
And then you were living out of your car for 7 months?
7 months.
7 months. All right.
Man.
That's a pretty fat lemon.
Man.
But, I mean, and there's, you know, pardon me for being so blunt and honest about this, but it's like, you didn't plan it out.
Nah, not at all.
Okay. Was there a reason behind that?
Nah, like, honestly, like, I am the type of person, if I plan something, I will plan it to death.
Yes.
And I just didn't want to do that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. And
what was it that prompted you? Says you are you a planner? I am.
I used to be a huge planner,
Okay.
and then after a while, I was like, "This is making me a little crazy. I'm gonna just go with the flow."
Okay, cool. So you said this is the opportunity to doing it. All right, so you're in your car for 7 months now in Cali. Yes. What part? You're here.
I was in San Diego East Side.
Okay, East San Diego. What part exactly?
It was off of Euclid. There's like a CVS pharmacy. I was like in the CVS parking lot. Just
Southeast. Yeah, that's where we stay at, bro. Right. Yeah, I came to San Diego when I was 15. Oh, my nephews were born here in SD. They were raised in Southeast San Diego, so we know.
Shit. Okay, cool. Cool.
Euclid and Federal.
Yeah.
Fam Bam. Yeah. If you know Fam Bam, hey, shout out to everybody Southeast San Diego and still going to Fam Bam. We used to get our burn CDs there. We used to get our Rockefeller gear. The Rockaware. We used to get what else did we used to get? The big fucking jean suits, like you know what I'm talking about?
You talking about the Fat Albert Platinum FUBU shirts?
FUBU, bro. FUBU used to rock the chains. Yo, they got everything. Swap Meet in the Hood has. You got it there. The Chucks were like $20. You know what I mean? You see everything. All the music was there, bro. Local people, non-local, whatever, bro. Burn CDs, new shit.
So like the swap meet out here is like the farmers market in the South, basically.
It's the same concept.
Yeah,
and that's everywhere you go. Swap meet, farmers market. None is a farmers market. Flea market. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. My bad. So yeah, Southeast San Diego repping. You were out there. You know what it's like. How different was that?
Man, it was
from when you come from.
It was a culture shock, man. Like I think, because everyone was telling me, "Oh, like you kind of in the hood," and I'm like, where I'm from, like the hood's got like projects and stuff. So I'm like, I see palm trees. I'm like, it seems nice now that I've moved to different areas. I'm like, okay.
Don't let the palm trees fool you. Man. Do not let the palm trees fool you. West Coast. Do not. They're nice to look at, man. You know what I mean? But it's a mirage, for sure. But still, it's home, and we make it what it is, and we love it, and we came from it, and we're here, we're still here.
Absolutely.
But so culture shock for you is different. What happens after the 7 months?
Man, 7 months, like literally, I was trying to find a job, man. So I finally found one. I found the first one, but it wasn't paying enough. Like I was a security guard at the fair.
Okay.
And that wasn't paying enough. And so I was like, okay, cool. I ended up working for another company. And when I was working there, I ended up talking to somebody that talked to somebody else and was like, I literally have a 2-bedroom that's available for you right now if you want to move in. Yeah. No money down.
Okay.
And I was like,
2 bedrooms? Yeah.
2-bedroom, you know what I mean? Right. So I was like,
what year was this?
This is like 2020.
2020?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. The year of the lemon. Man. That's what we call it.
But like, yeah, man. I felt like I realized I was supposed to be out here because everything just kept lining up. Like 1 minute, I was literally about to go back home because my head gasket in my car blew. I couldn't even move the car anymore.
There you go, lemons.
I called my mom and I was like, fuck dream chasing, fuck music, I'm going home.
Mama, I'm coming home.
I'm coming home. And she was like, you can always come home, but you need to finish what you started.
Oof.
And I was like,
Jen, yep, there you go. That's mama for you.
So yeah, I stuck it out. But
mama, shout out.
Shout out, mama.
There you go,
mama, man.
There you go. Shout out to the fam. Dope. Cool. So let me kind of like maybe I don't know if it's fast forwarding because at least from what I saw, your album is the year on it stamped 2020. At least on what I'm listening on.
So matter of fact, I take it back. That was 2019. That was 2019. Gotcha. I've been out here for 3 years, right? So yeah, the album came out like a year later. Like literally, I think I moved into my apartment in October, November of 2019, and then the next year I had the album out.
Okay.
But I was working on the album the entire time while I was still homeless. I was still writing for the album.
Yep.
I was still doing shows. I was still networking, talking to people. Yeah. Like, but no one knew what was going on. Like my people back home didn't even know.
Right. And I know that in the album, at least from what I hear, you talk about the transition. Going home from home to Cali.
Yeah.
And also within our conversation we talked about that. And I'm not sure. I mean, along with the album, but also you and I feel like we touched upon this a little bit. But you said that there was some what's the word I'm looking for? You know, just folks back home were kind of like, oh, he left.
Yeah, man, it's this
He's not us anymore,
bro. It's this weird ass feeling because it's like when you move out of your hometown, it's like on one side of the scale, now you not hometown enough to be with the homies, but also in the new place that you are, it's like you such a foreigner there, so you kind of like stuck in the middle. Yeah. But I had people that were just kind of like, you just left, you kind of like abandoned us, and I'm like, I didn't though. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like I needed to make the best decision for myself, mental health wise, career wise. I needed to make the best decision for myself, and I got tired of feeling guilty. Like the first few months out here, I had survivor's guilt like a motherfucker.
Oh wow, okay.
And it's like, because I had homies that, you know, didn't make it in general. Like whether that's like, I had a friend that passed away a year before I moved out here.
All right.
So it was like this weird transition because I'm like, here I am in a place where I feel like all my dreams are about to come true, and the people that I thought would be supportive and down for me aren't. So it just kind of like, it made me shell in, but at the same time it made me create more, and I think a lot of that energy came out on the album.
No, that's one of the best ways, you know, especially taking, like I said, the lemons, making the lemonade. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Taking that negative energy, turn to something positive. It's just more constructive. Because we're so, I feel like we can be destructive with it, and the only thing we're in destroying is ourselves, our mental health. Preach. And in that, it's gonna start destroying everything around us, everyone around us, you know. So, you know, choose you, man. Choose you. Work on you. And I say this, I'm gonna straight up say this because I've said it. I told this I spoke with someone about this recently. I said, you have to really just work on you. The good, the bad, the bold, the ugly. All right? Sure. Take the bad and the ugly. Work on that. See what you can do to better that. Cool. Checked. The beautiful and the bold. Sounds like a fucking soap opera, right? The bold and the beautiful. Bold and the beautiful. Yeah. All of those good things, real talk. Listen. All of those good things, own them. Own the fuck out of that. Because that is, I feel, is the balance between, you know, there at your life. You got all the negative, all the stuff, and then you got the good and best parts of you. They balance it out. And then continue to lean more on the good as best you can. And then the bad and all that ugly will just become less and less weight. You know what I mean?
I'm just not learning like Whitney. I was talking to Whit, and she was saying...
shout out to Whitney.
Yeah, shout out baby girl.
Hey.
Like, two things can exist at the same place. Like I realize I'm a perfectionist, and so I'm realizing like I think we were talking about like anger, and I was like, man, there's times where I feel like my anger gets the best of me, and that's been a struggle my entire life. So it's like I get mad at myself because I'm like, why did you even let yourself get to that point? But she was like, you can also be proud of yourself because you're not the same that you were. So you can acknowledge both of those in the same space. And I'm realizing like I don't have to harp on just the bad. I can harp on the good and the bad at the same time.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's like, yo, like the balance. The hardest part, I believe, in all that is you have to be the one to make the conscious decision to make the change. And both, the good and the bad, you know. Continue with the good. Continue to, you know, nurture that. And the bad, continue to fix it. And accept that all these things, whether it's the anxiety, the happiness, the anger, the good stuff, the pain, the love, they're all a part of you. You don't necessarily have to fight it, but if you own, especially the good, you know, you'll eventually know how to like control them in a sense, you know, and then you're good. You find it to be a little easier. Like, hey, it's cool. Like I'm everything. I'm a walking contradiction at times, but I'm also, I've said this before a million of times. We are human. We are gonna make the mistakes, and you just have to learn from that. As long as you learn, you're growing. You're good.
I'm leaning into that contradiction shit. I'm leaning into it. Yeah. Like, I think we're always presented like reality as there's one finite truth, and it's like it's not though. No, like I can be A and B. Yes. Like I don't have to be one thing all the time. No. I think I'm just not like leaning into certain gifts that I have, like I've been rapping, but now I'm doing screenplays. I'm writing books.
Yep.
Like I
Poetry,
just bought a beat
right?
machine. Yeah, poetry.
Yeah, you're creating.
I'm creating. And I'm like,
it's not
I
just
don't
a
have
box.
to be just in this little box. Like
No,
I can, and I can be bad at those things, or I can be very amazing at those things.
Right.
And I'm being in the moment, and I
Good.
just feel like
The dope part is you're exploring. You're giving
Yeah,
yourself a
yeah.
chance, because what a shot. You give yourself a chance. You're choosing you again.
absolutely.
You know? But you're working on this, because at the end of the day, once you do that, you become better. You grow, even through the growing pains. And real talk, I'm going through those growing pains.
Yeah, motherfucker, ain't they?
They are. And then one thing that's like, once I think I said this, but it's like going through therapy, and I'm like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable with myself. But it's like, I chose to look at it like I am outgrowing my old self. That's why I don't feel comfortable with my skin right now, because I'm coming out that. I was like, cool, let's look at it like that. And I'm going to own it. And then where I am today, I'm like, okay, cool. There's an evolution of me today. It's not new. I always say it's improved, but it's the evolution, you know. And I chose that, you know. Once again, I chose me. At the end of the day, me choosing me, not in a selfish way. It's more selfless, because the people around me are going to be better off with someone who is truly genuine and just me.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's going to pay off in the end to choose yourself.
Definitely.
Like, I feel like I've always been one of those people that's like, if you need me, I'm there. If you need me, I'm always going to be there. And it's like, after a while, I think that was the transition that people probably felt, where it's like, oh, I can't reach out to him because he's doing everything now. Like, he's doing music, he's doing like projects and shit. Like, I can't really reach out. And it's like, I mean, yeah and no. Like, I'm not that person that you can readily call, and my access is not as open as it was.
Yeah.
And I had to make that decision for myself, because you put yourself out to so many people, and you end up sucking yourself dry and don't even realize what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that I learned through, you know, even the journey now, is one is just be honest with myself and be honest with the people that are in my life. And I have to tell you, hey, this is what I need from you. And I say that, and I even demand things, because of the fact that I know what I'm going to give you. Trust me, I got you. So, but what I need you from you is X, Y, Z, and either you agree with it or not. And if you don't, it's okay. No love lost. But I know that I can't, for lack of a better term, fuck with you like that anymore.
Yeah, like,
you could take it however you wanna take that.
Okay,
you know what I mean,
man? Because I can love you from a distance, man. Like, I've
sure.
always told people, like, my level of love for you has nothing to do with how close in proximity I am to you. I can be distant, I can cut you off and still have all the love, but I have to choose myself first.
Exactly.
I love me first and foremost.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're getting to that point. You know, we're learning that and exercising that and being intentional about all those things, man. Like I said, you got to be a better you for you, and in turn, you're just gonna be a better you for the world.
Man.
Period. You know what I mean? And like I said, listen to your album. The first track, and I'm not gonna be here and dissect the whole album, right? I just am a fan of when the first thing coming out was, I'm gonna say your mom.
Yeah.
She was on there. She says, "Hey, you sound a little dry. You good?" She's checking on you.
Yeah.
And then she says, "We're good. We don't need anything." I'm just paraphrasing here. What prompted you to put that on there?
Man, honestly, like, when I thought about what was going on in my life around that time, my mom, she was checking in on me to make sure I was good. Like, I wrote this album over the span of 4 years, and the chunk of those 4 years, I was not in a good space mentally. So, which is why it took so long, for one. But I chose that voicemail because I wanted her to be the beginning of the album. She is one of the people that pushed me when I was a kid to create. Yeah. Like, I wanted to initially be an architect. Then I wanted to go to art school. And then I heard Commons B album, and I was like, okay, I want to be a rapper. Like, this is something else. And so she was like, you can do all of these things. Like, why this one? And I was like, it's the one that makes me happy. And she was like, okay, do it. Cool. Yep. And I thought she gave me some she fucked with me a little bit initially, you know, but overall, she's always been supportive, and I wanted to make sure she was the beginning of that, because she's one of my main inspirations. Like, my mom, she owns a company, and so she was able to take us from the projects to like a house, like, and with her own business, and it's like you don't hear about shit like that. So I'm like, you're the reason why I do this shit.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I want her to be the beginning of it.
It talks a lot about our exposure.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I know a lot of people, when I see it, they glorify, I'm just going to call it, they glorify these celebrities. Mm-hmm. They say, I look up, ain't nothing wrong with that. You look up to so-and-so, whatever, because XYZ, great, motivate you. But don't forget to look at home. At times, your own heroes, your own inspiration, those people that are going to support you the most are right in your face, creating that opportunity, giving you, those everyday gems that you're going to need for the rest of your life. And just setting the example. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's big up to moms once again for doing that. For real, because you set the example. You showed your son, hey, I did it. This is how I'm doing it, and this is what I got. So you can do it too. No excuses. I think that's why she's also harped on you. Yeah. Be like, what are you doing? You see me? I didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? I did what I did, and so guess what? You're gonna have to be that too. Man. It's a good lesson.
Absolutely.
Maybe some tough love there, but it's all love.
It's all love. All love, man. Like, I think I've finally gotten to a place in my life where I'm able to see my parents as like humans first. Yeah. Instead of like the adults and the parent-child relationship. Yo. And it's a weird place, but it's a beautiful place at the same time.
It's so crazy you say that, because I always I have a daughter. I find myself in that space where I'm like, can I say these things to her? Can I express these things? Because will it make me less of a parent, less of a hero, quote unquote, less, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I chose to just be me, be human, have my reservations on things because I'm going to have my opinions. But for the most part, bro, I am 100% about everything with her. I'm open. We have conversations and it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. And the connection that we've been able to build, the bond, bro, has just been beyond what I could ever imagine. Man, real talk.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
And I really dig that. I know there's no booklet when the babies come, but this is what I know, and it feels right. And I still give my jewels and lessons to her as best as I can from what I'm learning even today. And I'm setting the example. She's seen me grow. She says that she's so smart. Shout out. Dang, shout out, baby girl. For real. But you know what I mean? That's my thing. So you talk about that. It's like I see it. I have to be like, I'm wondering, like, is that how my kid looks at me? Like, as a human? Yo, dad, be human. You're good. Yeah. Instead of dad. Because I did the same thing, looking at just even my mom. I'm like, oh, when I see her, like, hurt, or when she passed away. And when I would see her getting older, I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Now she's like, oh man, they're not. Yeah, like they're human.
My pops, man, he's got some things going on, man. Like, and it's, but at the same time, like, I'm helping him write his poetry book, and I feel like he has poetry from like the 70s, and so I'm able to see my pops when he was like 27.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My pops is like 73 now.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So I was telling him, like, you don't realize how beautiful of a thing it is for me to see you as a human. I get to see my mom as a human. Yeah. Like, that hero complex, on one side of the scale, when I was younger, it worked for me. But it's like, as I got older, it's like I started having chinks in my own armor. And it's like, I got to know that I'm not the only one. And it's like my parents were immediately like, okay, this is what I went through too. Yep. Yeah, so, those lemons. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, that's amazing. Cool. So, once again, you had a couple years, I would say a couple years, you know what I mean, of what it was as you're writing the album. You come out to Cali, do the show, you go through what you go through, and then now the album comes out. How do you feel having it out there, or just you creating that music? How do you feel it's impacted you and also others?
Like, if you're asking like what I felt like when I initially got it out, I remember talking to my homie Alexis. He was one of the engineers on the album. Shout out Alexis.
There you go.
And I was like, man, I don't know what to do next. And he's like, you just got the album out, like, chill. And I was like, nah, like, I got to figure out what's next. And he was like, bro, like, it's out. Like, you've been like chilling, be in that moment. But now, like, just seeing people like relate to it and like fuck with it, playing it, like, man, it's a surreal feeling, because I'm like, y'all don't realize half of that album was done when I had eviction notices on my door. Half of that shit was done in my car. Half of it was done like in these weird ass places in my life. So, but my goal for that album, I was like, I don't want anybody to hear that and feel heavy. I wanted it to be like just a light album. It's like the music that I released beforehand was like about police brutality and mental health, which is not bad things to talk about, but after a while that energy is so transferable like through music.
I get that.
You know what I mean? I wanted to be a little bit lighter.
I definitely understand that. Yeah, for sure, man. Well, yeah, man, it's important too to acknowledge that, look, you worked so hard to get to this point and now you made it. Okay, just sit back and enjoy it just with everybody else too, man. That's dope, man. So has anybody contacted you or just come at you and say, hey, this song specifically is what does it for me?
Plenty of people. I mean, I think the fan favorite is probably Dream Chasing.
Okay.
Like, I think that's the one song everybody goes back to. People were setting their alarm clocks to wake up. Like, I thought that was cool as hell. The homies back home love Won't. I just did the video for Dream Chasing like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm so hyped to get that shit out. I'm so hyped, man.
Yeah.
But,
did you, just offside or off topic or whatever, did you ever get to do the title track visuals for it?
Nah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just not starting to do videos for the album right now. Like, I took a year off just to kind of like get some things in order. I got married last year.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Shout out to Whitney again.
Shout out Whit. But yeah, man, like that was my main focus for last year. I was like, I don't give a fuck about anything else. We got to get this wedding and get this shit together. But now I'm like, okay, cool, let's go ahead and get these visuals out. So Dream Chasing will be the first one.
Dope.
I want to do one for Dollar Marijuana. I want to do one for Want.
Yep.
Definitely one for Wake Up, and probably one for R4TW.
Yeah, I definitely have a concept for you for it. it's a little more I believe on my spectrum of a little darker.
Oh,
got the roses.
I like dark shit.
It's got a moodiness to it. And
wait, for what song?
The title track.
Oh,
like
Wake
for
Up. R4TW.
No. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
cool.
But if you already have something, it is what it is. I know that in my head when I would hear it and it just spoke to me, the whole roses thing. Sometimes I'm just like, ooh, okay, cool. I think I'm on a roast trip right now. I use them when I shoot. You know? But yeah, there was something that came to mind when I heard it. I was like, I think I could do something with this. I might just even do a fan video, and then I'll put you out and be like, there it is. No, good stuff, bro. So once again, just real quick, if you want to throw out your social,
social media is gonna be at Amarii Davu, AMARIIDAVU. That's everywhere.
Okay, everywhere. Perfect. All right, so just to kind of like wrap it up, the one question that I've always wondered, especially since our last conversation, what is the least sexiest name out there?
I have to say Bertha.
Okay.
Bertha just sounds like I'm Bertha. Like, it just sounds like just real, like, yeah.
Tweet your zone real quick. Yo, shout out to all the Berthas out there.
Hey, shout out to beautiful Berthas, man.
Yes, and everybody out there for sure. Thanks again, Amarii, for being here. Thank you for your time, your energy, your story. Yo, keep making that lemonade, bro. And we're here to support it. We're here to encourage it. And through this, once again, we hope to inspire and most of all empower, those people listening, but most of all, what you do. Thank you. And man, just keep pouring it on them, bro.
Cheers.
Yes, sir. Anyways, at this point, we're done. And we just kind of let it roll just so we can roll credits. That's just how it is. We just, whatever. I'm not sure what's going on at this point. That usually never happens. But we're learning. It was good stuff. There was... Okay, that's fine. No, there's one before that was almost an hour long.
Are we talking 30 minutes?
I think so, yeah.
It felt like 10 minutes. Like, I don't know, 1 minute. Damn.